So we're seeing the effects of the Supreme Court basically reinterpreting Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act and kind of trying to promote this idea of like race neutrality when you have certain racial issues that occur when it comes to voter discrimination, gerrymandering, vote dilution, right? All of these things. And there are people who are promoting the idea that this may be good, right? Like I was listening to a video from a creator that I listened to. I forget his name right now, but he talked about how there was a particular black man who said that this promotes his idea as an individual. And the problem that I have with that idea is that when it comes down to it, I always feel that those are takes from people that do not live, I think, in the South, right? Or those that have ahistorical interpretations of the history of the United States. And just to give you an example, aside from this person, is there was a state representative from Ohio who talked about how he represents a white majority district and how this promotes his idea as an individual. And I'm like, that's great. You are the random black man in Ohio, right? This doesn't particularly affect you, right? But this is going to affect black people in southern states, right? And this is the point in which people love to disregard black people in southern states, but that's where the majority of black people live in the United States. And like, just to give you examples of how it's already being whispered that they're just going to try to wipe out as many black districts as they can. Tennessee, Marsha Blackburn has already talked about how they want to remove the last Democratic district from the state of Tennessee to make Tennessee ruby red, right? That last district is Memphis, right? And when you look into why they only have one, I guess, majority black district and one Democratic district, it's because they literally broke apart Nashville from, I think, one district into three different districts that connected urban and rural voters, right? And basically, sometimes the people of Nashville have to ask the Democratic representative of Memphis to advocate for some policies on their behalf. Like, if that doesn't show you how, I would say, nasty partisan gerrymandering is, I don't know. And this is why I don't like when Republicans are doing this, right? I'm going to be partisan, right? I think Republicans have shown that they don't actually care about the people that they are supposed to represent. And that if you don't follow their D or R concerns, nothing ever happens for you, right? Now, also, we get into Mississippi, right? Mississippi it's the second district of Mississippi, which comprises of like 1.6 million people, which I think the majority of those people are black. And the problem there is that people have already called that we're going to literally break apart that district, right? Black people are 40% of the state of Mississippi, right? And for some odd reason, they're like, hey, let's get rid of our only black district, right? It's 1 out of 4, right? And it's represented by Benny Thompson, who I've talked about, I think, briefly, just about the age thing. But the fact is, he is the black representative of this section of Mississippi. And when you look at the ways in which some of these maps look, they just push all the black people into one section. Louisiana has already called to suspend their primaries, even though they've already sent mail-in ballots to, I think, soldiers overseas or soldiers that are stationed overseas. And it's like, okay, so people have already started to participate in the voting process, and you're going to cancel it so that you can get rid of the black districts in Louisiana. And then I don't think Alabama has suggested anything. I think Mississippi has already called a special session. Florida has already, I think, their state house has already approved their gerrymandered maps. And I would say, like, when it gets down to it, right, the ways in which people are going to talk about this is like, how do you consider representation, right? And how much does it actually matter to you? Because we've seen that Republicans do not actually care about what their people think about. And that's my main problem with this party. They don't actually care. They have us literally circling the drain right now, right? And they're doing piecemeal things while people are losing their health care, while the Trump administration has literally devalued the life of an American citizen. Like that, to me, that's probably one of the most egregious, right? Everything is failing. And we were possibly on a track to reconsider how we think about the value of work and the value of infrastructure, right, in this country, and the value of people in general. And we just went right back because people wanted a room shaker instead of learning how politics works, and how, instead of relying on people to do it for you, you should learn and participate, right? A lot of this is just people were scared and they let the ghouls in. Now, I don't know fully what's going to happen, right? I think for a lot of this, you're not going to see the direct effects for the midterms. But because a lot of Republicans are, I guess, in the majority in these state houses, in which there are a lot of black people, right, in the South, you're going to see it, especially during the 28 elections, right? But it's also important to realize just how disastrous it's going to be potentially for the CBC, right? We may lose 30% of the members there. We may lose like 200 plus just representative seats within state, local, and county positions in the South, right? Like, I don't know if people like realize, like, this is disastrous. And then the only people are sitting back and being like, well, now we don't have to consider race in anything. And we're seeing this like nasty, pervasive attitude where we think that removing race from our society removes our the ways in which it influences people's decisions in the world. And it's just the most naive and brain broken thing I've seen. But that's all I got so far.